Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Sunday afternoon. I've just used a bit of a gap in the weather to nip out to the greenhouse to have a look. My phone's on charge, so I'm using a Ricoh action cam thing I bought a few years ago. I have used it once for one little video when I was doing a job on my car, so just having to use it today in here. Just wanted to make sure nothing had dried out. Really, I would have spent time in the greenhouse and garden over the weekend, but it's literally barely stopped raining, so just come out to check everything, see what needs watering, what doesn't. Doesn't look too bad, to be honest, but I might give the tomatoes just a quick top up of water. So chilies are looking okay that I repotted. Hopefully they'll start shooting new leaves and a bit more green, although I might have to trim a bit off there, something with fur on it there, so it started rotting that bit. But tomatoes are all looking good. I've not actually picked any yet. I've got a few shop bought ones to finish off, so these will survive longer on the plant. Looks like some of the Tigerella down there. I can't actually, although there is a screen on this camera, it kind of goes off to save battery power, so hopefully you can see what I'm pointing at. Some gold are doing okay. The black cherries are coming along. The sweet million okay. The plums are ripening up. These others are all growing, all nice and happily green. These chilies and stuff are coming along. There's going to be quite a lot on this one. It looks like it just has loads and loads of tiny plants. Have a quick look up the garden. It's literally just stopped raining a couple of minutes ago. Quite a few tassels showing there, so all of them will be a corn. And a few bean flowers opening up. The rain's really battered these onions. Looks like someone's just laid down and had a sleep in here, and the rain seems to have just battered everything. It's come down really hard over the night, and this morning, like I say, you can still hear things dripping now. So I'll carry on in here probably Tuesday next week. Just thought I'd start sort of this week's video with a quick look post showers. I'll bring you back later in the week. I just moved a bag of compost in the greenhouse here, and I found this little fella. See him? Lurking in there. Or not in the compost, behind it. I don't know what it is, but frogs seem to, every year I seem to get one in the greenhouse. There was one living outside in a bucket of rainwater, lighter colour than him, and I found another dark one at the front of the house earlier in the year. It was actually, well, it was in this bucket. This was some horse manure a friend of mine gave me, which I was mixing with some compost. This must be all the different weeds and things that horses eat, but the seeds don't get destroyed. But anyway, when I had another tub sat in the top of it, and when I lifted the tub out, there's a big dark frog just happily living in a hole in the bucket, in the manure, made himself like a nest and just sat there. Obvious pun there, toad in the hole. English viewers might know what that is, but so I had to obviously move him. But yeah, I've seen frogs sort of running around in the back and different areas. I wonder why this tomato's come off. Probably me brushing past might have knocked it off. It's a shame, but looks like it was a healthy tomato otherwise. So anyway, I've give stuff a water. topped a couple of buckets up with a bit of extra compost. You can always add a bit more compost to tomatoes as they'll just grow more. You cover more of the stem, they'll grow more roots. So right, that'll do me for today. Back in the house I think before it starts raining again. Catch you later. Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's Tuesday evening, I'm just in my greenhouse at home. I don't actually need to water everything, the temperature's been quite cool and nothing's dried out since I was in here at the weekend. Just noticed I got a visitor merrily munching on a tomato left out. That's a slug. I was hoping that frog that's in here would be eating stuff like that. Chilies are all looking good. Quite a few ripe tomatoes. I'm going to pick a few tomatoes while I'm in here now today. Garden that's soggy outside, it was raining until about 5 minutes ago. A few of the brown cherries there, softish. I think the Tigerellas get a little bit redder than that. I don't think they're quite ripe yet, but plenty of ripe sun gold there, so chilies look okay. There's a few forming. Hopefully it looks like there's quite a few like new shoots coming on the stem, so hopefully that being repotted will encourage them to a new sort of lease of life. A few old leaves sort of drop in and need discarding. Can't tell if that Scotch bonnet's got decay on it or not. I'll have to let it doesn't feel soft, so I'll let it just develop and see what it does. We could do with swapping some of this English weather with some that they're having over in Italy and Sardinia at the minute. Not all of their heat, but some of it. I believe we are due some better weather again in August in the UK, but we shall see. So it's not going to be much of a video this evening, I'm afraid. So the garden's just absolutely saturated, nothing I can really do out there. So I'll pick a few tomatoes and I'll catch you on the next one. Just a little quick bit for the end. Picked a few tomatoes. I'll tell you, if you've never tasted a homegrown tomato, then you don't know what a tomato tastes like. You've never experienced the true flavour of a tomato. I'd suggest anybody, well, next summer now probably, a couple of old buckets, a grow bag, some tomatoes or tomato plants from your local nursery. Give it a try. There are varieties that will grow happily outside. Well worth a try. Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Friday afternoon. I've not really made it into the greenhouse much this week. The weather's just been atrocious. So all I've really done is just check them for water. I haven't filmed anything. So let's have a quick look. There's a lot more tomatoes ripe now from when I was in the other, or last filmed anything. Well, chilies are all still growing happily. A couple of the ridgeline sort of cucumbers all forming. It's amazing, I mean, it's been quite warm this afternoon, but as I drove home from work today, I drove through quite a big shower, and yet some of the gardens bone dry and others seems wet. Sweet corn's all doing good. Quite a few ears of corn forming on these plants now. Quite a few little purple bean flowers. So I should get a few of the climbing French beans out of there as well. This was bone dry before, even though it rained as I drove home, so I'll give this one a good water. That vineweed, it's amazing to keep ripping it out and see it's strangling a plant. I'll deal with that over the weekend. I think I'm going to have to stick some slug pellets in here I know the caterpillars can't get in, or the butterflies for the caterpillars, but some kind of slug and snail party going on in there. They're just destroying everything. I had to pick a couple of the white onions. Again, I don't know if it was all that torrential rain we had last week, but the onions, everything just seemed to get battered. There's a lot of damage to the leeks. I don't know what all that is. These seem to be recovering a bit, but a lot of the onions are just sort of laying over and giving up. Some of them have still got some life in them and growing straight. They should carry on, but I think I'm going to have a bit of red and white pickled onions going on here. I don't know if they're going to develop. Possibly can't see them, but there's quite a few plums ripening on this tree. At least I'll be able to open the upstairs window and lean out and pick some. But this tree's going to have to get sorted at the end of this year. Quite a few random, not a massive quantity, but a few blueberries forming. So should get, if they all sort of came ripe together, you get a reasonable picking of them, but they're sort of being fits and starts, but some of them are quite a decent size when they ripen. So hopefully if the weather holds off, I'll be back out here over the weekend. So I shall bring you back then. Cheers now.